What's good? It's your boy, Coach Joey, Coach's Corner Podcast over here at El Rancho Boxing. You got my favorite co-host, Mr. Even Hands himself. You already know when we get together, it's to talk about boxing.
And that's all we do is talk boxing all
That's
day,
it,
all night,
man.
right?
Listen, we've been gone for a minute. We've been gone for a minute.
It's been a good month. It's been a good
But
month.
listen, the summer was here. We had kids. Shit got crazy. But we're trying to get back on it and get consistent with this boxing shit. But man, we got the biggest fight of the century coming up.
Listen, ever since the beginning, I've always said I'm taking Crawford, and I'm sticking to it. Listen, I understand it's a 60-40 fight for Canelo. I understand Crawford is a big underdog, whether people want to believe it or not. I understand that Crawford has never faced a dog like this. I understand all these things, but still, with that being said, I think he's going to shock the world.
I mean, that sounds good. That shit sounds good. I think we have to understand the level of greatness that Canelo has done in the last 10 years. I see a lot of people that try to pick the record apart, or listen, we can do that to every fighter, right? Every fighter, we can pick the record apart, when they fought somebody, when they didn't fight somebody. The fact still remains is he has fought 23 world champions, right? He's next to, right underneath Floyd, of being the most champions ever fought, right? And I think what people fail to realize, this is what makes this fight very intriguing, is people forget that in order to be where Canelo has been and where he's at, it's his mindset's different, right?
Correct.
And I do think Bud has that mindset of greatness, because that's why he's doing it, right? He wouldn't be going to 168 if he didn't have that same mindset. But what I want people to understand is, don't think for 1 second of the Canelo we saw against a Berlanga or a Munguia is going to be the same Canelo that comes out Crawford. Because the great fighters know when it's time to take that next step up.
You don't think the Canelo that fought Munguia and Crawford would beat Bud?
No, I would say that's a little disrespectful to Bud, because regardless of how you look at it, Munguia and Berenga's talent is nowhere close to Bud. If we want to go with size, yes, they are bigger guys, and that does equate into the power where Canelo is still dropping bigger guys. But as far as talent-wise, I don't think they give Canelo the same openings that they did, right? So Canelo is going to have to set up harder traps to get Bud into that situation. You know what I'm saying? So, but the main thing I want to keep is understanding that Canelo knows when to turn that switch on. We ain't talking about just anybody. We're talking about one of the most generational fighters in Bud Crawford that's trying to come up and prove a point. But listen, the same way I felt about Canelo moving up to 175, I didn't like it. I thought he was trying to bite more than he can chew, and I didn't like it. I said the same thing. Listen, you can go beat an older Kovalev that doesn't have a lot in the tank no more, and it wasn't the Kovalev that beat Andre, that him and Andre Ward went at, right? So I didn't think him beating Kovalev wasn't all that impressive to me, right? Because I'm a realist. I'm a Canelo fan, but at the same time, I was being honest with myself too. Like, that wasn't a young 175, right? So then when they announced to make that fight with Bevo, I had said the same shit. I don't like it, because the younger guy at 175 is going to show Canelo, this is my weight class.
Is Bevo younger than Canelo?
I don't know if he's younger. What I mean by younger is got to be, what I mean by younger is boxing younger.
Okay.
Canelo started at 15, so
he's
technically Bud, Bevo, all these guys are younger.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
get it.
Canelo started at 15 as a pro. So that's a lot. That's some miles on the tires. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like it, though, at 175. Now, I did see what everybody's seeing with the same thing with Bud is they're trying to dare to be great. So it's okay to take that risk, because to me, great champions and great fighters or great athletes are going to do the things people are not normally used to doing, right? That means Canelo was okay with losing because he was going for the risk, right? But I said it. If Bevo can take the power and give it back, Canelo's in trouble. And what happened?
Canelo was in
Bivol
trouble.
showed he could take the power and give it back. Because
Yeah,
guess
but Bivol's
why?
different though. Bivol's different.
Yeah, but guess why? There's weight classes for reasons. Canelo got no business being in 175.
Correct.
The same thing I feel with Bud. Bud ain't got no business being in 168. You've been at 135, 140, 147.
One fight at 154.
And one fight at 154. So when people hear me say 3 weight classes, yeah, it's 3 weight classes. I'm not giving you a weight class when you've been there one time. And you know I'm a Bud fan. I pick Bud, you pick Spence.
Right.
I'm just saying, I think he's going, he's found his match on the bully, right? You know how we always say you got one bully, but then there's always a bigger bully? This is that bully.
You think Canelo's the bigger bully?
Absolutely.
Does this fight go the distance?
I talked to my boy Anthony from Undisputed Promotions. You shout out. We were chopping it up today on the boxing, and he asked me the same thing. What do you think it goes? I said there's a stoppage for Canelo, and if it goes to a decision, it's for Bud.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair because I don't think Canelo's going in there trying to play with him. I think Canelo's going to go in.
So what makes you think? What makes you think that Bud will get the decision then?
Because here's what we were talking about, right? I feel Bud has to fight the perfect 12. Canelo doesn't.
Can Bud fight the perfect 12?
Yes, because he has the skills to fight the perfect 12. But here's the thing. Here is the key. Can Bud's ego and Bud's arrogance, and which, mind you, those are 2 good things to have when you're in the ring. But at the same time, it can also be your demise if you don't know how to channel it. And what I mean by channeling that, going to your question, is Bud is going to have to stick to the game plan and be disciplined, right? Bud has to know when to try to be the bully and step around and not be the bully. Because if Bud decides, let me be there, I'm going to try to show him I'm the big guy, that's when he's going to get in trouble. Because I don't care what nobody say. You can sit here and say that if you think the power is not power, then explain to me why he's dropped everybody that's been in the ring with him.
Dude, it goes back. I seen that Ring magazine flyer they pull out. Nigga, the man has been down. Somebody dropped the ball with that one.
Oh yeah. Crawford's been dropped by Green Machine. He's been buckled by Gamboa. And I don't know if he's been buckled by anybody else, has he?
Did Benavidez buckle him?
I don't think Benavidez did. But
there was somebody else that
somebody brought up, Canelo got buckled by Cotto back in the day. Yeah, he did.
Canelo was young too then.
But here's my thing to that. Canelo hasn't been buckled
since
on the biggest stages since. And what I mean by that, he ain't been buckled at 147. No, because when was he buckled at 140, right? He wasn't buckled at 150, wasn't buckled at 160, hasn't been buckled at 168, or hasn't been buckled at 175.
Devo made them legs fucking shaky.
You call what you want. I ain't see no stanky leg. But now here's my point.
Nah, you didn't do no shaky.
He didn't do no stanky leg.
But them legs did get shaky.
But here's the point I'm making. People could sit here and say, I got a chin or I could take a punch. The difference is he's doing it at all these weight classes,
taking the shot,
and can talk that shit.
And listen, there's that one shot that always goes around with Golovkin.
Listen,
catching him flush and his face.
Listen, and Triple G was Triple G, the boogeyman at that time at 160. So I don't want to hear about Triple G ain't shit. Because let me tell you something: a prime Triple G fighting a prime Crawford at 160, that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight.
For sure.
So we ain't going to sit here and act like, that was a nut. I got to remind people that one of the greatest runs in boxing history was the run that Canelo did in that year and a half. When he went up against Triple G, when he went up with Daniel Jacobs, not even
that. Yes, that was a good run, but that wasn't. Yeah, that was about 18.
Come on, bro. That whole run was between 2 years.
Yeah. He fought the 4 times.
Like, listen, anybody that hates on that, you're a fucking hater.
Oh, they're gonna hate anyway. You know, motherfucker.
Yeah, but listen, what I'm trying to figure out is, what do you feel when you hear these boxing people talk about Bud gonna stop Canelo?
I think they're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Okay, great.
I think they're a bunch of idiots because Canelo's been hit by bigger guys, and I just can't see it.
No, I'm with you.
Listen, I just can't see it. I just can't see it. You know, and that's that. I just can't see it.
I can't see it for the sole fact. Listen, everybody.
Canelo's been in there with bigger guys, and he had never. And just if you want to say Bivol bullied him, okay, but Bivol he was also cautious of when he was doing it.
And what did Bivol say the other day in the interview?
No, that Canelo hits the hardest.
He's the hardest he's ever been in the ring, hit by one time.
But yeah.
But then when you go in there, then he said Beterbiev hits the same way numerous of times.
Correct.
So now in that division, the one that hits the same way numerous of times can be the one that wears on you, right? And that's why I feel the same thing's gonna happen with Bud. Is the numerous of power over time.
And the thing is that you don't got to catch him with that hard shot every time because again his shots are gonna put into the ones at 154.
He can hit him in the bicep. He can hit him in the elbow.
Hit him everywhere. You know.
And listen, we
that's
can't.
The difference with Canelo. He'll hit you.
We can't go back to what coaches try to teach, right? What do we teach our fighters, guys? We teach our fighters to get in here and punch at the target, not just the fucking head, shoulders. I tell my fighter, punch a motherfucker in the throat. If it's there, you punch him, right? Chest, throat, elbow, it don't matter. Everything up here is where it's at, right? So for me, that's what makes Canelo a tough fighter to do. Bud, in my opinion, has to do what he did to Spence times 2 without the arrogance. Because here's the thing. You're not pushing Canelo around. I don't give a fuck what weight you put on. You're not pushing him around. And if you decide to push him around, now you got to stay there and trade. And that would be stupid to just stay there and trade with the bigger guy, right? If Bud is the more skilled fighter, which a lot of people agree, he has a lot more to the arsenal, right? Which, I mean, I'm not going to go against it. I think he does. I think he can switch. He can go righty. He can go lefty. He throws really good combinations, throws beautiful shots, right? So we are going to say he can do it. But the thing is, this is where arrogance can't be a part of. What made Floyd so dominant against Canelo?
He was able to stick and move, and Bud is not a slick fighter.
Bud's not a slick fighter as good as Floyd because Floyd didn't have to get his get back.
Correct, not as good as Floyd
because Floyd didn't have to get his get back. Floyd can outbox you and not even take the risk no more because why? I'm beating you at your own game. You're using your aggression. I'm going to counter you and step around. I feel like Bud has to get off, make Canelo pay, turn him and reset him, and do it again. Make Canelo have to keep turning because eventually what's going to happen, he's going to get frustrated. He's going to load up on a shot, try to throw it. And now Bud can see the one shot. Bud can catch the one shot and fire 2 to 3.
Correct.
Turn his ass again and keep doing it. But there has to be discipline to that because when you do get caught in that exchange, that's where you have to stay disciplined to the game plan.
Does Bud change his game plan after he feels the power the first time?
I think it might. I think he might realize, oh shit, this motherfucker hit as hard as they say he do, right? People can't tell me he ain't got power.
Correct. No,
everybody that's been in the ring.
Anybody who says that is just a hater.
Everybody you know
what? If I was to hear somebody say that, I just quit talking to them.
Like,
I wouldn't even quit the.
You're not gonna tell me the power is not a factor. It is a factor because there's weight classes for reasons, and they're in 10 ounces gloves. You ain't been touching 10-ounce gloves yet with a guy that can pop, right? So for me, the hardest thing for me is everybody saying, can he take the power? I think it's that simple. It really is that simple. I think the fight comes down to one thing. Can he take the power? Can he take the power?
I agree. And that's why I'm taking Bud. You know what? I think we know Canelo's a dog. We know Bud's a dog, right? But I think Bud's a bigger dog than Canelo. And listen, and I just feel he's a bigger dog than Canelo. And not to take nothing because I like Canelo.
But let me ask you this question though: what makes you say he's a bigger dog?
It's just it's his mentality. You know what? Canelo's not gonna back up. You know what I'm saying? But nobody has made Canelo really back up. Except for Bivol. But wait, let's think about it because Bivol, you know, after a while, Canelo, he just gave up with Bivol because he was just letting him tee off. You know, he tried to get off on the road. We've never seen that with Bud.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I believe Bud is gonna be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go try to knock your ass out. Canelo will he's still there to survive.
No, I don't think Canelo survived.
Man, go back and watch the fight, my boy. After a while, he was just there to survive, my boy.
Nah, I don't think he was surviving. Okay. I think with Bevo knows how to fight in his range.
Right, and that's what that's what I'm trying to say. Canelo, but after a while, Canelo seen that he couldn't. It was different. That he was dealing with a different animal.
Nah, but to say Canelo quit.
No, I didn't say Canelo quit. I didn't say Canelo quit. I said he in his mind, he's like, man, I ain't gonna beat this dude. Let me just not get knocked the fuck out.
Nah,
let me not get stopped.
Nah, I don't see that same sense.
Nigga, and the reason why that second half of that fight,
and the reason why I say that
second half of that fight,
the reason why I say that is because you don't get to where he's at by having that type of mindset.
He's a human, Joey. We're all human. Joe.
We're all human. But listen, there's guys that get in there that are different, bro. Like to say he's a bigger dog has to mean that you've been in there with the best and you outdogged everybody. Canelo has been in there with every style and has taken every type of power punch.
For sure.
And listen to me.
But that goes back to what we're saying. To what you're
I mean, who's outdogged him?
No. But that goes back to saying if Bud wins a decision, that means he'd have to outdog him.
No, that means he would have to outsmart him.
Okay.
That means he would. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen, he's not going to win the dog war. You can't. You're not going to beat the bigger guy at the game that he's good at. You're going to have to outbox him the way Floyd did.
But he don't fight.
But what I mean by that is Bud has to take what he's good at and what he's great at and do it in a different game plan. Bud is not going to walk him back like he did Spence, bro. Canelo ain't never been walked back like that. If Canelo's going backwards,
you can't say they never, because Bivol
didn't walk him back. Bivol fights in his. Let me say it like this: Bivol is one of the most strategic guys that knows his range better than a lot of fighters.
Okay,
he keeps him out on his punch, but keeping somebody out on your punch don't mean I'm walking you back. Walking you back equates to me pushing you to the ropes, not me going to the ropes. There's two different things. When you look at
I go back and watch that fight.
When you look at Triple G and Canelo, the first fight, did Triple G push him to the ropes or did Canelo ride to the ropes?
No, and again, I made the statement. Only one person that I feel did that, and it was Bivol. Go back and watch the fight.
I mean,
he put it on. When the kids get here in the gym, when the kids get here to the gym, put it on.
We'll watch it. But like I said, here's my point. My point is going because if that's the fight you're gonna go to.
No, I'm not going to that fight. I'm just saying, you're saying that he's never been walked back, but he was a bigger guy. But he's a bigger guy. Of course, he's supposed to do that.
Okay,
that when he was supposed to do that.
I didn't think he walked him back, but if you said he did, then let's just say that. Then let's say he did walk him back.
But Bivol was supposed to do that because he's the bigger guy.
Okay, so then that's the same thing that comes with Canelo and Crawford at 168.
So you think Canelo's just going to walk Crawford down?
No, but I think he's going to walk Crawford down being strategic. He's not going to walk Crawford down stupid and just walk with his hands down. You know what I'm saying?
He just ain't gonna Canelo with his hands down anyway.
But what I'm saying is he's gonna have a lot of respect for him because you have to, right? But let me tell you why I'm not saying there's no way in hell I'm gonna say Bud is a bigger dog than Canelo. Somebody ain't never touched a man.
I didn't say he was a bigger dog, but is he? He could be. We don't know that. We're gonna find out Saturday night.
And that's the best thing.
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something my dad always told me growing up. You can be the biggest, baddest motherfucker in your yard, but there's always somebody else that's bigger and badder.
Of course.
So now, Bud could be the biggest, baddest man at 147, 154. And we can't even say 154 because he didn't fight nobody but one time at 154.
You don't think, right, I'm going to let you finish, yo.
So what that means is ain't no fucking way you just going to go out dog the motherfucker that is a dog at 168. I just don't see that.
You don't think
Floyd didn't try to outdog him. Floyd outboxed him with his IQ and his skill set.
You don't think Crawford's wrestling background, the strength that comes with it, can help him as a factor in all of this?
Hey, guess what?
We're not talking about wrestling. We're talking about the strength.
Yeah, no, you're saying wrestling. But guess what? In wrestling, there's weight classes too.
No, I understand, but I'm saying the strength the pure strength that comes from wrestling.
Nigga, he wrestled in fucking in high school.
Yeah, but this kid goes around still wrestling with all these.
I don't give a fuck what you wrestling at. Listen, it doesn't equate to what it is. Yes, yes, Crawford is strong. Yes, he is a very strong individual that he's doing it at a different stage where we're like, damn, right? But at the same time, bro, that's like me getting in with a fucking a 175 right now, thinking that I can take the power. Yeah, I might take one hit. I might give a power shot back. But eventually what's going to happen?
You're going to wear
that big motherfucker's going to say, hey, bro, I am bigger than you. It's not, people got to understand when somebody is bigger or something is on this side of the spectrum, that's not an opinion. Those are facts. A 6'7", a fucking what do you call it, is bigger, right? People want to keep talking about, let's touch on this real quick. Tell me how you feel about this. How do you feel when people say Bud's 180 and Canelo's 180 is the same 180?
Oh, hell fucking no.
Okay. So you feel in that area the weight is still different?
No. Canelo's been at that weight for the past 3, 4, 5 years now.
Correct.
So his body's accustomed to that.
Correct.
Bud's body's, again, when he gets late, we're gonna see what
how that 180
how that gas tank's gonna be, because that 180 is gonna be a lot of weight that that's fucking 30, 40 more pounds than you use.
Because now what I'm gonna say is we're gonna use the Mexican Monster as an example. Okay, when he fought the first fight at 175, he said the heaviest he ever came into the ring was that night. He came in like 198 or some shit like that. He said he's never came into a fight that heavy. So he said that he got gassed because he hasn't fought at that type of weight. So he didn't know how he was going to feel towards the back end of the rounds with that weight on. But he did say, give me some time, and when my body gets accustomed to that weight, I'll be able to finish that same way from start to finish. That is the same equivalence of what we're walking into with the 180. But this is the part that shocks the shit out of me. You got all these pro fighters that know weight classes matter. You got all these pro fighters and coaches that know how you cut weight, how you drop weight matters. But now we're all going to sit here and say, well, Bud's going to feel good because he's fighting at his walk-around weight. Motherfucker, but he's never fought at that walking around weight. He doesn't even stay in camp at that full weight. So what are we saying? We saying that Bud's fighting at 147. Are we saying Bud goes into camp 40 pounds higher? Do you actually believe that Bud starts camp 40 pounds higher?
No.
Because there's no fucking way Bud would be doing what he's doing if he was that undisciplined, right? So now that goes to that point of saying, no, Bud is not fighting at his fucking natural weight, because you're not telling me he goes into camp 40 pounds higher and then drops the weight all the way down. Ain't no fucking way, right? He might be like that going into a vacation mode, or he's 2 weeks out, or he's 2 months out of camp. He's just chilling. Yeah, he might blow up to that. But you best believe when he knows something's coming up, he's starting to cut all that shit out. He's trying to trim that weight down drastically. So that way he knows that by the time camp starts, he's probably only 20 pounds out, 15 pounds out, right? So now you say, okay, great. Crawford ain't got to cut the weight no more. Okay, that's cool. But Canelo's been fighting at 180 for 12 rounds. For how many fights? 10, 12 fights for the last 5 years?
It's up there.
And now here's my point. Not only do they know how the machine works at 180, because think about it. They know where they need to be before they start camp. They know where they want to be 2 weeks out. They know where they want to be the week out. They know where they want to be 2 days out, 1 day out. Right. And then most importantly, they know what they want to be as soon as they weigh in. How are they going to rehydrate his body? We're going to step it up. We're going to take this. We're going to take that. They know how to blow him back up accordingly to where they know where he wants to be when he gets in the ring, right?
Where he feels
so
good.
They have the machine fucking penciled in to how it works, right?
Yeah.
So no, the 180 and the 180 is not the same. And anybody to say, oh, well, he doesn't look that big. Motherfucker, we can see 2 180s. And look at my fat ass right now. I'm 240. But go get another 240 where he looks fucking solid and looks that. What 240 is better? You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, man, yeah. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be an intriguing fight. Final prediction.
Well, no, let's get there. Let me get your thoughts on how do you feel him bringing in Boots?
Ooh. Well, I think it was good for him to bring Boots in.
Absolutely. Do you feel like when people are like, "Oh, look at Canelo, he got a little chachon or his eye all fucking swollen"?
It don't even matter. Listen.
Who gives a fuck?
Listen. The problem is that people need to understand that this is boxing.
But that means what? If he did touch Canelo in a certain way,
doesn't that mean he's not gonna touch him like that again?
Or that means he was giving Canelo looks that Canelo wasn't used to seeing or needs to see, right? The whole point of sparring people and bringing people in that are better is some motherfucker to touch you up so you say, oh shit, I gotta tighten up. Oh shit, let me pay attention to that. Sparring ain't meant for you to be dominating. Sparring is meant for you to bring in motherfuckers that making you work and putting shit together. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it like that sense, I look at it the same way, bro. You can't tell me Boots is not giving them hell of a look, because Boots to me.
But look, he had guys like Valsain in there too.
You know, Valsain, holla at Valsain, our boy out in Pro Box, and he's a hell of a dog. And
listen, and again, he had the right people. I feel he had the right people there for the.
But what does that go to show you, though?
That they did their homework.
How serious are they taking the fight?
But to be fair with Bud, you know, Bud got a good sparring partner over there in Lester Martinez. Listen, y'all don't, just because you don't know nothing about it, go watch the kid when he fights in Billy, yo. The kid is good. Listen, I like Lester. Lester's a good. Lester's a scrap, son.
You got motherfuckers that scrap in the gym, but then you got motherfuckers that scrap when the lights turn on.
Listen,
I want the motherfucker that does both.
Lester scrap when them lights is on. Believe that.
I don't even know who the fuck he talking about.
Lester Martinez is gonna come. Listen, you're gonna know about it Saturday.
Listen. If I ain't heard of you or seen you on the stage of performing,
listen, but he fights on Pro Box though. No, he's still coming up. He's still coming up. You know, the guy's still coming up. But the guy's the truth. But I'm telling you.
But what I'm saying is, in order to go to that stage, I think you have to respect.
So you're gonna put some respect on Lester Martinez's name. Come Saturday, you're gonna put some respect on that man's name.
What, is Lester Martinez fighting Saturday?
Yeah, he's fighting and Billy. That's the co-main.
Okay, well, I'm gonna check him out, and if he's good, then I'll be like, okay, he's good, right? But here's my thing. Canelo has been in there with everybody.
No, I agree, but I'm talking about he brings. When
somebody, people say, Canelo's never been in the ring with Bud, yes, he has.
Bud's, you know, again, he has Bud's sparring partner, you know, even before other fights.
But don't you think you don't think there should have been an adjustment to maybe somebody better?
How much better can you get?
I don't know, getting some other good guys at
168. But we don't know what they do in camp because they keep everything on the hush.
Okay, yeah. Can be true.
The only reason we know about Lester Martinez is because they're in the same camp. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Them are Bomax guys. So, final prediction.
My final prediction. The weight will be an issue. The power will be an issue. And I do think Canelo will end up hurting him late. 10. I think he hurts him around the 10th round. And I think there's a possibility of the ref stopping it.
Yeah. My final prediction, majority decision. Terrence Crawford.
Okay. Can't be mad at that. I mean, listen, he's a generational fighter. He got talent, 100%. To me, there's no wrong answer, but people need to understand that Bud ain't going in there knocking nobody out. Number one.
I said a majority decision. I think he's going to outpoint them.
I can see that.
I think he's going to outpoint them. You know, I think in the back end of the fight, Canelo closes it in because I think Canelo will win.
Who takes the first four?
I think Bud takes the first four.
Me too.
But then you know what? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I say. But at the back end of the fight, that's why I said a majority. That's why I said a majority decision because I think Canelo will win 2 of them last 3, 10, 11, and 12. I think the first three Bud takes, and then Canelo start going forward. But let me tell you this: there is going to be a time in this fight that Canelo will draw a line, and Canelo's going to cross it. And Bud's going to have to decide whether he's going to go out fighting or he's going to go out in his back. I do feel that if Bud cannot get Canelo's respect early, meaning if he don't land him with a shot and Canelo's like, that's it, then Bud's in for a long night.
If Bud cannot give him something to say, damn, that little motherfucker got some pop, Bud is in for a long night. Because now that Canelo that will cut Bud off, because we're not going to sit and talk like Bud got amazing feet like Laura. He don't. Right?
Right.
He don't move like Ennis. He don't move like Floyd. Can he move and step around? Yes. But it ain't nothing of that magnitude. And Canelo can cut the ring off. Because if he couldn't cut the ring off, he wouldn't be where he's at. So I'm tired of hearing people say that dumb shit. Can he cut the ring off? I don't want to hear about all that.
You guys heard it here. Fight Game News
Canelo,
Talk.
Bud. I got stoppage in 10th. He got majority decision.
Coach's Corner. Fight Game News Talk. We out.
We out.
Don't step up in that ring if you can't bang.